are you wondering if Warner Robins, Georgia is the right place for you to buy a home due to cost of living? Well, in this video, I'm gonna give you everything that you need to know. There's no reason to even check out Google or blogs or other videos because I've done hours of research to be able to bring you the correct numbers. And not only that, I live here. So I'm gonna be able to give you the insider scoop on exactly what it costs to live in our city. So to start things off, I want to be able to talk about the housing because at the end of the day, your number one expense is usually housing with your mortgage payment or rent. As we are towards the end of 2023, the average home here in Warner Robins, Georgia is just north of $194,000. Now, that might not seem like a lot to you because it really isn't compared to the national average, which I'm gonna get to here in just a second. But I wanna blow your mind with something really quick. In the last 12 months, home price appreciation has gone up 7.8% here in the local area, and houses sell in just 6 days on average. Now, when you compare that to the national average of a home here in America at $349,770, with them selling in 12 days, and here's the kicker, home price appreciation overall in America has only gone up 0.4% in the last 12 months. So you can see how fast the local area is growing here in Warner Robins, and it's really helping our economy. For you buying a home in Warner Robins, Georgia, compared to the average here in the United States, you're paying 55.5% or $155,000 cheaper than the national average. So of course, your number one expense is so much cheaper here in Warner Robins than the American average. Let's talk about utilities, because if you look up the average here in Warner Robins is about 79.9 on the index out of 100 when compared to America. So utilities are almost 20% cheaper than the average. However, if you dig really deep and look at electricity, for example, electricity is about 10% higher than the national average, but when you filter things in like garbage and water and the other utilities, it still brings us below the national average by almost 20%, saving you hundreds of dollars a year. Next, let's talk about food and groceries. Now, it's really hard for me to be able to figure out how much you pay at the grocery store because I don't know how large your family is. However, I did pull the statistics from the government websites that I needed in order to be able to give you the average. And here is the stats. 94.7% average here compared to the United States. So you're spending almost 6% cheaper buying groceries here. But let me throw up some stats on the screen for you. The US average for groceries for a single person is about $350. For a couple, $652, family of 3, $901, family of 4, $1,107, family of 5, $1,468. But if you compare that to here in Warner Robins, you're looking at about $331 for a single person, $617 for a couple, $854 for 3, $1048 for 4, and $1390 for 5. So when it comes to grocery bills, I'd always recommend that you figure out how many people are in your family and you budget accordingly. Because you could have food and groceries be one thing, but let's say you go out to eat 7 days a week. I really don't know how to best explain to you the averages here compared to the national because I don't know how much food you eat. Make sure you do your due diligence and make sure that you get on a great budget. I'm not sponsored, but there is this app called Every Dollar from Dave Ramsey that will help you be able to track your bills when it comes to not only food, but everything that I'm talking about in this video. I really would recommend it if you do want to be able to build a proper budget and save up a good amount of money, hopefully for a down payment on a new home that I can help you buy. Next, let's talk about transportation costs. And again, Warner Robins comes out knocking it out at the park at a 79.8% compared to the United States. To be able to put that into perspective, Buc-ee's yesterday, gas prices was $3.02, and then I looked at the national average, $3.90. So overall, moving here, you're looking anywhere between a 20 to a 21% bump in how much money you can keep in your pocket when it comes to your transportation. Hey, but you say, Luke, I got an electric car. Well, guess what? I still got the data for you on those transportation needs as well, because here in Warner Robins, you're looking at a 16 cent per kilowatt hour that you pull from the power grid. Now, the next one's entertainment, and I was kind of laughing when I was doing the statistics on here because I was looking up nightlife here in Warner Robins. You can check out another video. I go over reasons you should move here, pros and cons, all that kind of stuff. But for example, nightlife, if you look it up on Yelp, the #1 thing that pops up is a sponsored ad for Chili's, okay? There's really not a whole lot of nightlife around here in Warner Robins. So when it comes down to it, your bill when it comes to entertainment is really dependent on what you like to do. There's things down in Perry, you can go and see shows, you could go up to Macon, they have bars downtown, you could hit I-75, go north to Atlanta to be able to go to the metropolitan city. We're about 3.5 hours away from our East Coast beaches, you're about 4 hours away from the South Coast. Florida beaches like Panama City Beach, for example. So your entertainment bill is really dependent on what you like to do. Like it was saying, a couple can go out to eat for $50. Well, me, for example, if I go to Chick-fil-A versus Chipotle or Panda Express compared to a sit-down restaurant in Macon, the prices are completely different. So I'm not gonna even give you a budget when it comes to entertainment. It's really dependent on what you like to do. Now let's talk about healthcare. National average 100 out of 100 with Warner Robins compared to the United States. So it's break even. However, if you do not know how healthcare works and you have to pay for healthcare out of your pocket because your employer doesn't pay for it, these are the 7 things that you need to know to be able to get a quote for healthcare. Also, I'm gonna pop 2 graphs up on the screen here real quick to be able to show you what these are. #1, age, then location, smoking habits, metal tier, number of people covered, type of healthcare plan, and household income. There's so much that goes on with healthcare. You really need to be able to do your due diligence to be able to find out what the best plan is for you. I'm not a healthcare advisor, I'm a real estate agent, and I can get you an amazing deal on the home. I really don't know how to best help you to be able to find healthcare online. However, I do love Dave Ramsey's website. When it comes down to it, he has trusted advisors on the website. I'm gonna link the website in the description below. I'm forgetting off the top of my head what it is, but whether or not you're looking for insurance, you're looking for trusted advisors, you're looking for healthcare, you're looking for auto insurance, everything in between, there are amazing people on that website. I'm not sponsored. They do not pay me. I just remember when I got out of the Army and I went on their website and I was looking for insurance, they bundled my car and my rental insurance and I got an amazing deal. They literally told me over the phone that they lost money on my bill because of how great of a deal they got me, because they really wanted to make sure I was getting taken care of. So I can't recommend them enough. If you're looking for healthcare, go check them out. If you already have healthcare, well, you just heard me talk for like 45 seconds. So to wrap things up, Warner Robins is very cost efficient, and overall we're about 20% cheaper than the national average when it comes to everything you need. But let's say you want to move to the local area and you need more information, please go to the description and book a one-on-one call with me. I'd love to be able to tell you about our city and what it looks like to be able to move here. I got your back every step of the way.